and welcome everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official Lord of the Rings online Twitch channel, and we are streaming Lord of the Rings online. So there are a lot of fun things you can do in Lord of the Rings online. So you can go out questing, you can go and beat up on the wolves that are encroaching on the Shire. You can follow along with the Fellowship as they're making their way through the various parts of Eriador and into, Ravanian and Moria and Mordor and all of those things. So you've got a lot of options with that. But then you can also do some fun kind of side social things that happen. So throughout the year, there's festivals. And right now, the Yule Festival is happening. So that's where I am. I am hanging out in the town of Winterhome, located in Frostbluff. Let me pull up the map there. So this is Frostbluff itself, and then Winterhome is back here over in the corner. All right, so, and I see my Extra Life stuff is there too. Let me go ahead and get rid of the map. So just a quick note, we are still participating in Extra Life. You still can donate if you desire to do so, if you've been meaning to do so, and you're like, oh my gosh, totally forgot. You can still get goodies off of the community loot list. So maybe somebody can pop the rewards or something. I think it's rewards. There'll be a link here in the chat. There we go. Thank you very much, Mubat. So if you wanted to make a donation to Extra Life and help out children's hospitals in North America, that is a way you can do that and get good stuff along the way. All right, so today I wanted to show you around Frostbluff and around this festival. Now I've already done... Have I done any of it yet today? I've been popping in and doing it a little bit and then going away and doing other stuff. So I have already, at this point, participated in 3 out of the 10 required daily quests. Now, I haven't been doing it, I've been coming and doing 1 a day. So that's why I'm up to 3 days. But when you arrive in Frostbluff, you might have a scroll that you read, and it will send you to roughly this spot here. Let me get rid of the names for a minute. You might also come by Stable Master, because there are stable masters, festival stable masters at, I'll show you. There's West Bree, there's Celondim, there's Thorin's Gate, and Mickledelving. All of these have a stable master. So let me show you. So it's a free travel, which is fantastic, very useful. So if I were to take this stable master back to Bree, for example, I can just turn around and come right back. So it's going to bring me in the West Gate of Bree. And ta-da! Here I am. So we have our regular stable master here. I'll put their names back up. And then we have our festival announcer guy over here, kind of leaning up against the post. So see how it says Winterhome? It's the only place he can send you. And there's a minimum level none on this, so anybody can do this. As soon as you get yourself out here, out of the intro, you are available to come and check this guy out. Travel for free, boom, sends me back to where we started. It's also kind of handy if you have like a low-level character and you're like, man, I haven't discovered Thorin's Gate, or I haven't discovered Celondim, or, I've done that before where I've used the festival stable master to get me around to those other 3 that I might not know yet at that point, or even West Bree, because gosh, knowing West Bree stable master is so handy because it's just such a gateway to so many places, as is the South Bree stable master. So that could be a little trick you can use while you're here. Okay, so once you arrive, you want to go down this ramp here. Oh, if you are not a subscriber, there's a mailbox right here, and I have found that really handy with our, we have some free-to-play accounts that we use for doing like a snowball event or playing music and things like that together as a band. So they don't have access to a roaming mailbox, whereas I'm a VIP subscriber, so I do have access to my mailbox wherever I'm at. But if you do not, this is really handy. So it's right around the corner there. Okay, so we're going to continue down the ramp. And the person we want to talk to down here is Mara Sandy Downs. She's a cute little hobbit getting warm by the fire. It's a little chilly out here in Frostbluff, so, it's worth standing by the fire. Kind of like it is in the Netherlands right now. It's been a bit chilly recently. So all right, so let me So when you talk to Mara, she is going to give you initially 3 or 4 quests. She is going to give you a festive flurry, in which case I'm still working on the intro. And that is a kind of higher wrapper type quest where you do something 4 times and that completes that one and you're going to get all those goodies. What you are completing is the spirit in the spirit of Yule, which is do 10 things, festival things in the Frostbluff area, although the horse races do count. And they're not here. They're in Bree and the Shire. Sorry, I got something on my glasses. So you do 10 of these and turn it back into her. And you can only do this once per day, but that will then count towards that festive flurry. Then you also have a Fortune of Festive Spirit, which is basically complete a festive flurry. So you can see how they all kind of work together. You come pick up a Spirit of Yule from her each day that you've already, like if you complete it the day before, come and pick up a new one from her, finish that. Once you've done that 4 times, that'll complete this one, which also then completes this one. So you go boom, boom, and you get 2 things right in a row on top of this daily stuff that you just did. All right. Also, she has like, hey, let me give you even more stuff. So if you just do 1 Yule Festival activity in Frostbluff, I don't know if the races count for that one, she'll give you a little sack of presents, and it's random. It can be marks, it can be festival tokens, might even be mithril coins once in a while. It could be a hat, it could be some boots. There's a wide variety of things that it could be in that sack of presents. It's very random. I don't even know what the drop rate is on that. Yes, a Tobe of Might 1. Yeah, crazy stuff. You never know what you're going to get when you open her sack of presents. But it's nice. It's nice. You just got the Tome of Might 1? Oh, that's fantastic. So you don't have to just go run the Barrow Downs for that. Okay, so I have also, the 4th thing you might get from her. So you get those 3. The 4th thing you might get from her is go do a mission. So this is a mission to bring good cheer. And it's basically, we love that you've come to Frostbluff, but there's more to Yule than this lovely little town. Why don't you bring some Yule cheer to folks in need of aid across Middle-earth? You're not actually bringing cheer, you're just going and doing a mission. Any mission will do. So we'll show you one here in a moment. We'll show you the fastest one to do, especially as a hunter, because I can get us to Rivendell. So I'm going to accept that. When I complete that mission and bring it back to her, she's going to give me 5 Yule Festival tokens. The other reason why this is really actually important is, sorry, I think the cats are being silly. Let's see, was it under instances? Is it a hidden? No, it's not. Skirmishes? No.
It's under race and social.
It's under race and social. Bringer of good cheer. There it is. Yep. It is under race and social. Bringer of good cheer. Once you do this 40 times, so 40, that will complete this deed, bringer of good cheer. Now, there are generally 12 to 16, sometimes 20 days of festival. So you cannot complete this in 1 year. I don't even know that you can play Mithril to get it to respawn for you. So you're going to have to come and do this every day, roughly every day, for 2 years in order to complete this deed. So it's one of those deeds that you kind of like, it's really worth it once you get it done. You're like, yes, finally. Right, as before says 40, but the festival only lasts around 25 days. Exactly. So we started working on this last year, and so we're still working on this year. But we only have 10 more to do. So we're going to do 1 today, and then there should be at least 9 more days left of festival. So if we keep on it, we will actually finish this year. What do you get? You get a Tome of the Wild Gray Donkey pet if you are able to complete this. So let's take a look at our pets. I apologize. All of a sudden I got really sniffly, or not sniffly, like my sinuses are being weird as of like 10 minutes ago. But hopefully it feels like it just kind of went, I don't know why. My body's being weird today. Let's throw some vitamin C in there and see if that helps. So yeah, so you get this kind of simple little gray donkey pet. Very cute. So that's what you can earn for completing that deed. Okay, so we are making progress on that deed. So I think we're actually going to run over and do that first thing. Where'd you go? Are you invisible? Oh, there you are. Oh, you're on top of the... I didn't see you on top. Hello. Okay, we are in a fellowship, so I will use my hunter skill. I'm going to take us to Rivendell. So we have both picked up that quest. Yes? A mission to bring good cheer. I mean, I could look at my quest log. Here, a mission... There it is. Mission to bring good cheer. And you'll see it's got a little ring there for my fellowship member. So, yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go. So I have ported us off to Rivendell to do probably the easiest mission there is. Which is we're going to go assist with the Bilbo Baggins quest. He's got some further adventures that he's gone off to do. And we are going to go check in on him. And what we've done is he's gone into Goblin Town at this point in this little story sequence. So we have to get our way into Goblin Town to go find him. So number 7 in the Further Adventures of Bilbo Baggins, chapter 7. This is the one you want to get. So he says, I've heard that there are numerous back entrances to Goblin Town, but they are unreliable and difficult to find. By the time we found one, if we could even get it open, it might be too late for poor Bilbo. We need to think of some other way to get inside. Do you have any ideas? All right, so we're going to accept that. And then number 7. All right, he says, yes, I agree. The main gate will be the most reliable way inside Goblin Town, but we'll need a distraction. I think it's now my turn to accompany you on this mission, my friend. I will make certain that you are able to get inside the main gate if you promise to find our missing Baggins. All right, so we travel. So here's Celebrier, the guy who's been trying to find what in the world happened to Bilbo. And we talked to him, and he says, follow me and stay close. You'll need some way to open the main gate to Goblin Town, but you won't be able to search for such a thing while there are goblins outside. So we're going to follow him to a good hiding place, avoiding detection avoiding letting the goblins find us. No detection. He says, this way, down here. So we're up here in the Misty Mountains, and there's Goblin Town, the entrance to Goblin Town over there. And so this is where you find... not Durin. What's it? Gloin. Gloin's camp. Gloin has a little camp out here. So you can see it's been kind of knocked down and ransacked a little bit. Okay, he says, so hide here while I get their attention. Let's see, let me pull this up. He's out there chatting, so he's been like, okay, perfect. The goblins wrecked this campsite. Why is that good? It means they're not going to check over here again. So hide here while I get their attention. Don't come out until I've led them away. Once they're gone, search quickly. The longer you take, the more goblins will return. So he's gone over here. And you see there's a whole pack of goblins over there. And we're hiding in the tent. He's like, hey, goblins, over here. And they're like, what, get him. All right, so they're running off. Oh, okay. So there's rocks and piles of snow. It's the 3rd rock down here. Wait, there's 4 rocks. It's got to be the one. Okay, the 3rd by the water. 1, 2, 3. So this is where there's a key hidden to get us in there. You find a spare key to Goblin Town buried in the snow beside this rock. And then you run over, and you unlock the gate, which my partner has done. The key turns in the lock. You can now rescue Bilbo. And he's back. He says, I led them on a merry chase. They will be sometime returning. And we got our mission reward box. Open it up. Boom. And he says, now you've unlocked the gate. We should be able to rescue Bilbo. Cool. We'll do that for sure another time. Now, sometimes it takes it a minute for it to transition between you being in the instance, in the mission, and, being back out here. It's kind of like, waking up. Sometimes it takes a little while to transition there. At least it does for me. Okay. But we have finished. He says, the depths of Goblin Town are sure to be dangerous, but you'll need to search them if you are to rescue Bilbo. There we go. We have done a mission. So, our mission to bring good cheer now says, talk to Mara Sandydowns, which was that Hobbit back in Frostbluff. So, I'm going to take us to Brie, because we'll take that festival stable master. That one's pretty much the closest that you port in. Mickle Delving, you port kind of by the Wenda, and so that's a little further than the stable guy. Kellendon, we don't have a port to as a hunter, and for Thorns, you come in up at the top of the stairs, and you need to get the stable masters that are way down and across the, the snow and everything. So this is definitely the closest one of the options that you have for the stable masters. All right, so here we come. Zoom, zoom. We have arrived. You'll notice there's often someone AFK there. That happens all the time. All right, so Mara is like, hey, good job. You did a mission. You spread some Yule cheer. Well done. She gives me some tokens. Now, I have done a festival activity. So she's like, hey, you did one thing. Have a sack of presents for your hard work. So let's see what we got. I got the hat. I got the wintry Yule cap. It looks like this. It is super adorable, actually. I'm quite a fan of that wintry Yule cap. I'm just realizing I don't think I have that currently on any of my characters. I was messing about with with my character's outfits today. Well, my character on Laurelin, my main, for the social activities, because there's a social activity on Laurelin tonight. So I will be leaving you all and zooming my way over to Laurelin, actually. Back to back. That hat I just got, let's see, it is similar or exactly the same as... Oh, let's see. Do they have it separated by hats? No. Fall, new rewards. Rewards of Yule Past. It's not mantle. Let me see if it's listed in here. So you'll know. So these are our vendors over here, and they have a lot of good stuff. I have a lot of this stuff. The Yule Festival cosmetics are actually really good. There's some real bangers in here. I think maybe I should check with Jeffrey.
Hello there.
And what have you got? Cosmetic clothing. Oh, the Yule scarf is like top notch. Snowy tunic and trousers. The brusque bassoon is with him. Cosmetic cloaks. Housing. Oh, how am I missing the... All right, let me just look at all. There's like the... Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. The Yule stocking cap is not the same. It looks like that, like it's got little earmuffs on it. It's also cute, don't get me wrong. But the one I just got is even better. Let's see, there's cloaks. Oh, the gift boxes, I totally forgot about those. Bum, bum, bum. You have the elf gift box, the Breland gift box, the dwarf gift box, the hobbit gift box. Those they can have wallpaper of that race, and there is a different wallpaper for each of the 4 of them. Which one's the best one? I think the elf one is the best. Hobbit and dwarf, I recall. I think the dwarf one is also really good. If I remember, the Breland one is really kind of weird. Looks like somebody's grandma's house. Didn't like that one. And then there's also other stuff in there. There could be a... there's cosmetics. There's, you could get like a box that looks like a present that's a housing item. That one's really cute. Yeah, so there's a whole variety of things you can get there. The Supreme Legendary gift box, I think it has coal in it or something. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, I think it has a lump of coal. It only costs you 1. The other ones cost you 10. And if you are curious what the assortment of things you might find in each of the boxes is, the Lotor Wiki does have that information. So that's usually what I end up doing, is I'll just go to the Lotor Wiki and be like, okay, what's in the boxes? What am I still looking for? And then I'll just buy those and hope that I get what I'm looking for. This year, some of the new things, they have a wheeled chair, which is a housing item, a furniture item. You can also put it in your yard. There's a mitten shelf, which is super cute. I put that up in our kin house already. I did get the Snow Strider's wreath, although I am considering switching over to like maybe the candlelit wreath of Shire Holly for our kin house instead. There's some decorative walls. There's some really pretty trees you can put out. Some more wreath options. The eye-catching outdoor Yule tree is the one that's really huge, and it's already decorated with lights and ornaments and stuff. No, sorry, the cat I don't know if you'll be able to see her. She's out of reach. Oh, because I put the chair. I have this chair here because the cats sometimes like to come and sit next to me on the chair, especially when my lap keeps moving. But she's just out of sight. There she is. She just walked by. I put some treats in the little tower for her a little bit ago. I looked around. I didn't see her. I didn't see either of the cats. I'm like, cool, I'll put some treats out to kind of preset the scene. And then she like came, whoop, she was inside underneath the couch. I'm like, oh, you heard me. So she went ahead and ate most of them already. Anyway, that eye-catching outdoor Yule tree is fantastic. Snowball Arena, it is a huge yard item. Totally worth it. The theater stage is a lot of fun. That's the stage right behind you, right behind these guys. We have snowmen, a lot of really good housing items too. So you could get like a whole field of snowmen if that's your jam. And then the title writs. I'm not seeing the hat that I just got. Is it only available as a drop from her? These are the new cosmetics for this year. This is the Snow Strider's mantle. So it's a shoulder item. Wait, is that right? Yeah, it's a shoulder item, which means I'd have to get rid of my neck item, I think, because it does look weird with the scarf that I have on. So I'd have to right, scooch that off. But aside from that, here, let's put all these Snow Strider things on. So look at that. No, I wonder if I dyed the scarf red though. What is the scarf under? So the back, it's probably on my shoulders. Okay, so it's probably a back item, the mantle, maybe. Yeah. Excuse me. So the back is the mantle is on the back like a cloak, and then your shoulders are still showing. So if I move this to like crimson or something, yeah, it blends in a little bit better, but see how it's stripy, so. You know, I bet the snow dusted might look good there. So those are anyway, aside from the thing around my current character's neck, this is the Snow Strider's outfit that's available. So that hat is too funny. And there's the boots and the coveralls and everything. It's it's kind of funny. It's not necessarily my style, but it's still kind of cute. Let's see, there's a new steed that is somewhat in that same kind of theme. Let's see, you can buy gift wrapped versions of a lot of the cosmetics. So for example, if you have Yule tokens or maybe one of your alts that's on a different account or something, and your main is trying to, you know, earn something, or a friend of yours just didn't have the time to get in and you want to help them out, you can buy the gift wrap version and give it to them, and then when they open it, it's bound to them. But the gift wrapped item itself is not bound. So that's a great way to earn tokens on one person to be able to give something to somebody else. Now you can't do that with the consumables, the frost breath emote. You can't do anything with any of those. The Yule Goat Kid is bound to account when you buy it. But the tome of the other ones, the Poinsettia Huron, all of those are not bound to accounts. So you can buy those and give those to somebody else. So Maverick in the chat asks, is this Lord of the Rings? It is. It is Lord of the Rings Online. I'm currently hanging out at the Yule Festival, which is kind of a fun side thing that's happening at this time of year. So there's not a lot of like heavy gameplay happening at the moment, but we are having a nice fun social time. So feel free to stick around for that if you want. I'm looking for what I believe is called the Snow Dusted set. Oh, the Yule Sparkler is a handheld item, and it's a great little item for this time of year on the characters. Yes, I am a Hobbit. Well, at least in the game I am. I am a bit short in real life as well, but not quite as short as a Hobbit. Ah, let's see, winter Yule hat. There we go. That is not exactly the same as the one I just got. See? Yeah, no, they are different. Okay, for some reason I was thinking that you could still get the hat in the game, but from the barterer, but I think maybe you cannot. Yep, okay, cool. So yay, I got a drop that you cannot get anywhere else. Another drop you can get from that bag of presents that you get from Mara Sandy Downs. So check out this horned snow beast cloak. It's got this great, stuff going on the back, and it's very furry, and it's got these horns. There's a version that you can get from her. Let me see, and it is, I believe, also has the same similar name, Snow Beast. Yes, spiral horned Snow Beast cloak. So watch how it changes. See, the horns changed? These are more spirally. I think the back is the same. Let's see. The back is very similar, but not identical. It looks like it's a little bit smaller versus a little bit bigger. So, yeah, so I like the circular horned one better. And you can only get that from the Mara Sandy Downs bag as well. So this is not the outfit that my character is wearing. I was just kind of showing off like this year's new look. Each year that they do the festivals, a lot of times they'll have some new cosmetics that they come out with for that festival. Not always, but usually they do. So this is the current stuff that you can get that's new for this year. I find it amusing, not really my jam. But they are cute. Oh, so the Snow Beast boots, though, you can buy those, and they've got the cute little toes at the bottom. And I believe those also are the same as the ones that come as a drop from Mara Sandy Downs, this little thing. Hey, there's the mantle I was looking for, or they don't call it a mantle, shoulders. There's the shoulders I was looking for that, look at the new rewards. The Snow Rider's mantle. See, I think those, you could almost... They almost blend together. Let's put that cap back on. Well, it still kind of bleeds through a little bit, doesn't it? Let's take a better look up there. Yeah, doesn't quite blend. It's a lot closer, though. I really do like these snow-dusted, let's see, snow-dusted traveling shoulders, robe, gloves, boots, if you want to see them. See, the snow-dusted look is cool. I think, isn't there a snow-dusted, go back to all, I think it was the last page, wasn't it? I thought there was a snow-dusted, not robe, but maybe that is my option. Hobbits eat pretzels, heck yeah. Hobbits do eat pretzels. Well, this robe of Winter's Light is also really fun. I got that on one of my characters and then put it with some other really rich, dark red accessories on a male Bjorning. Looked really good on him. The ice flower cloak is kind of fun too because it's got that kind of pointed, flowy thing going on. Anyway, we could just spend all day here. We'll try not to do that. Okay, so let's get back. So this is what my character currently actually looks like. I think I may have to swap out the hat though. Let me see. Do I have the hat in here already? I already have it in my wardrobe. And it's the wintry Yule cap. Let's see what colors I have it in. All right, so there's the wintry Yule cap. Oh, the wintry Yule backpack is also really neat. That's one of my favorites. So check that out. It has such a cool look to it. But I didn't feel like my character was like going off on that kind of adventure today. She's still got her like dried flowers on her back. Although, I mean, I suppose we could do the cloak. Oh, this is the cloak that I put on the Bjorning to go with the, oh no. Oh yeah, I think it is, to go with that other outfit I was talking about. Oh, that's a good outfit too. Oh my gosh. Gonna get so distracted, y'all. I was gonna try and change her hat. Okay, I'm not even gonna try and change her hat. I'll be here all day. Okay. So this is my outfit for the day. Actually, I set this outfit up when we were doing the last festival, which was the kind of Halloween themed festival, because I wanted to kind of go with like an orange and dark theme. So we went with I bought this mount that you can get there. I like it quite a lot. But at some point I will switch to more of a jingly mount. I just haven't gotten to it yet. One of my characters has a jingly mount that she's riding around on. I can't remember who it is. Okay, so we've done, though, 4 festival activities. It says so here, kind of in the light chat there. Oh, and I've got mission stuff up. Let me clear those out. We don't need to be looking at those. All right, so I need to collect firewood from the trees. So what I have done, let's rewind a little bit here. So remember when we first came in, we talked to Mara Sandy Downs here. She's the one that gave us our wrap request saying, hey, go do some stuff in this place. So we went and did a mission, came back, told her about it. She was really happy. She's like, good job. There are other things we can do here in Winterhome, which is the city in this area of Frostbluff. And so there are various NPCs hanging about with fun things for us to do. Ona Kay, she is in charge of the eating contest, which you can start here, but she's not ready for me to do that with her. If we go down these stairs, when you first arrive in Frostbluff, I should say, they send you around to do kind of like an intro quest, and you do kind of go in that order. So you start with Mara, then you talk to Guard Kember. He's kind of a butt, but I picked up the Abominable Snow Beasts quest from him because he wants us to go cheer them up. That's not a quest that I find distasteful. That one's good. Ona Kay, he sends you over to her, and she tells you about her eating competition, and then you go down here, and we have Mayor Goodenough and his wife Carolyn Goodenough, which I find their last names hilarious. You talk to these two over here, Mabel Mitford. She has 2 quests for you when you come back around. Basil Wyndham has 2 quests for you. So these quests are not available when you are doing the introduction, but then you can come back, and these people are sitting right there waiting for you. So he wants you to go and refill the empty keg, and then he also wants you to go around to the tables where the eating contest is happening and tidy up the dishes and the spills and things like that. So I've gone ahead and picked up those quests from him. Now, if we go up these stairs, you'll see we got dirty table. If we look to the left here, we have the Globe Theater, which stands for the Green Lily Orators, Bards, and Entertainers, which is a Hobbit troupe that has come to do plays here in Winterhome. It's very cute. And the whole deal is that when you get in there, you find out that a couple of the characters have had issues, like one guy broke his leg, things like that. And so they're doing a different play than what they had originally planned to do. And they need a couple extra people to help out. So 3 people from the audience are brought up on stage to then partake in the play. And at 3 points throughout the play, you're given the nudge that it's your turn to perform. And so you do one of the emotes, and they will be, you can choose any of the emotes that you have, but for it to really count, it's going to be one of the auto-generated ones, one of the ones that you start the game with, which is actually a quite significant list. So at one point, for example, so there's the protagonist who is Bilbo, and Frodo comes along, and there's a Frodo actor who comes along and says things, and then you as Bilbo react. There's a party goer who's kind of like a generic, character. Hey, how are you enjoying the fun? Because it's Bilbo's going away party. It's his birthday party thing. And then you have the villain, who is Gandalf, who is trying to steal Bilbo's fortune and make him disappear in order to take all of his things. So at one point, like if you're playing, Gandalf, and they're like, now our plans are in motion. What do you think, Gandalf? And you might be like, wink. That could be an emote that you choose, for example. So there's some very, very silly options there. Yes, we got a giggle from Megan in the chat. Yes, agreed. It's some very silly stuff. Yeah, so that's what's going on in the theater. But before you end up at the theater, when you're doing your intro, so after you talk to the 2 at the bottom of the stairs there, they're going to send you out to say, to check out the snowball field, so you know where that is. And then you come back up and you see the theater, you talk to that Hobbit for a moment. And then after you talk to her, it's kind of like, you should check out other corners of Frostbluff. So you do, and you come back here, and you find that there is this workers' quarter. So, these folks are hard at work in the middle of a snowstorm, and they're not getting very well fed, they're not getting very well paid. And so you've got Daily Utteridge here, the names are funny. Who wants you to maybe go give coins to the people of the town who've lost their jobs. or go and disperse the wintry weather out in the that are of the people who've been kicked out of town. Maybe it'll help keep them not get so cold. Gareth Rust over here, he's like pretty annoyed. You know, the mayor is throwing this big party in Winterhome, and you know, people have been like pushed off to the side to make it look prettier rather than embraced and like, you know, hey, we have people working, let's give them fair wages, like all of that things. Oh, we have 3 raiders from John of the Rings. Welcome, raiders. We are hanging out in Frostbluff and in Winterhome doing the Yule Festival. Yay! So we're just taking a quick chat here with Gareth Rust. He wanted us to go make some mischief, kind of make things a little bit more difficult on the mayor. Don't blame him. So we went and set off some fireworks. And then while the fireworks were distracting some of the patrons, we went and did some pickpocketing and then brought the coins back to Gareth Rust, who is going to take half of it and give it to the to spread out amongst the friends so they won't go hungry, and the other half of it we're keeping. So we're keeping 4 of the tokens and he's using the other 4 to give out. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he can keep all of them, but it's all right. I appreciate the rewards because that's kind of the point of doing some of this. Okay, so excuse me, I had already done that, so I was just turning that back in. Like I said, I kind of have been doing piece parts of this throughout the week. So this will catch me up and we'll finish, like we'll clear out a whole day and that'll be great. All right, so we're gonna tidy up some stuff here. We've got unsightly spills, we have grimy dishes, and we have reeking garbage hanging out here at these tables where the people are doing the eating contest. Oops, now we have a big bush in our way. There we go. So you'll see this person is doing the eating contest, and they have to talk to Nora Lewis in there, and then they're going to run down to the table down the stairs. They're actually near the end of their festival. Also, throughout the town are little bits and bobs of things that you might need if you're putting together the snowmen out in the snowfield. So if you're looking for the pipe, I believe it is. Yep, there it is. So you see that this hobbit who's had a bit too much has dropped his pipe, perhaps, but we get to use it and put it into a snowman. So let's go down here, clean up some more stuff. You see that person there is also doing some cleaning up. Let me grab a drink. Somebody was talking about mithril coin sales in the chat. I wish. Let's see. Yeah. Someone says, are there mithril coin sales? And they're like, well, not very often. Very rarely. They're like, so you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah. I find mithril coins useful for a variety of things. Buying houses, premium houses. There's mounts that, so the way they've been doing the festival is that the new mount, oh, hey, let's take a look at this guy real quick. He's got the new outfit stuff. So you see it's got this huge long scarf. Yeah, it's wild. And the little boots and the little overalls. That's cute. That doesn't look so bad. It looks really odd to, sometimes on a hobbit, but on a tall guy, it looks pretty good, especially from the back. I think the scarf really is nice. And the overalls, the straps, those are cute. All right. Let's see, what else are we doing here? Let's go. Have I started building a snowman? Did I pick a snowman? Let's go take a look. It sounds like somebody's outside letting off fireworks. Nope, I have not started a firework or a snowman. So we're going to talk to Virgil here. And he's like, hey, you want to build one of my snowman? Go for it. So there's the classy one, the mitten wearing one, the scarf wearing one, the cap wearing one. And those, they have different elements that you would then find within Winterhome, as well as out here in the fields. And there's also this accident one, the broken snowman. The reason why I'm pointing out all of those is because, that's not it. There we go. There is a deed called a cool reception. And so if you complete each one of those 5 snowmen at least once, you get a reward of a broken snowman, which is a yard item for your house. And then you also get a title Gatherer of Cool Company. So it's cute. Once you've gotten that deed, so the dealio is like, say if I was doing the mitten wearing snowman, I gotta go find the mittens in Frostbluff. And then I have to find, let's see, does this one need a carrot? Yeah, I think you have to go find the carrot, which is over by the chickens. And you need to find, I think, some acorns out here in the field and some bushes maybe. Oh, no, the sticks are for this guy and this guy. But point being, there is a myriad of things that you have to go find, like 4 or 5 different things you got to pick up while you're out and about. Not a big deal, but if you want to just make life simpler on yourself, do the broken snowman because you just need a stick and some coal. This goes a lot faster. All right, we'll come back to that because there's sticks everywhere right by the snowmen, so we don't need to be in a rush for that. Down here is the snowball field. Not going to worry about it right now. And I am going over here to the chickens. So you can see that I'm kind of making like a loop. So let me move this out of the way again. So we have winter home there right above me. That's where we came out of. And then now we've gone past the snowball field at the top. And now we're working our way over to where the chickens are. And then we're going to go over to the kind of top area and get some firewood. And then we're going to come back down. And wow, I can smell those. Whew. I can smell the fireworks. Yeah, the whatever that is, the gunpowder or whatever. Anyway, we're gonna come back down and go to the frozen lake and take care of the grims that are there, the cold winter weather. And then up from there, we're gonna pop into the forest where there's snow beasts, and we're gonna try and cheer them up. And then after we go past the snow beasts, we're going to go over here to the mushroom tent. I know the cats are probably not happy. And there's a mushroom tent. We're going to collect some mushrooms. That's for one of the quests that we're on. And then we're going to go back into winter home. So you can see I'm kind of just making a loop, or a loop. The way it shows on the screen in the stream is different. It's opposite. I feel like I'm the Scarecrow in Wizard of Oz. All right, so there we are. Okay, so I've got 5 eggs over here. We need that for stuffing the stuffed, which is basically like, hey, these people are here and they're just overstuffing themselves and they've eaten all the food. Now we need to make some more food so they can keep stuffing themselves with the, like, you know, the food. Wow, I wonder if you can hear that. Okay, so here I am in the Grumpwood. I just need 9 trees. So we're just gonna knock them down, steal a stick. Not a very kind thing to do, but there we are. I like to hope that they don't mind us actually taking a stick off of them, and then they just get back up because they're trees, right? They're fine. They're fine.
Like toenail clippings.
Yeah, like toenail clippings. We're just taking off some toenail clippings, but they don't want to do that, so we have to kind of like knock them out. I had a cat one time that was like that. Like we'd have to go and get her nails trimmed from time to time, or if she ever needed like shots or anything, she was not okay with being touched, basically. So anytime she went to the vet, we had to take her in like a hard case carrier. So because at first I had a soft carrier and she would just like bah, 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 and try to claw through it. It was a little crazy. So they're like, hey, can you bring her in a hard case? We're like, oh, sure. So and they would just take her and the whole case and stick it in their little hot boxer, basically, and knock her out with the gas. And then they could trim her nails, give her shots, give her a checkup, make sure she was healthy, check her teeth, you know, all of those things. Yeah. So I figure that's kind of what we're doing with those trees up there, right? We're just kind of, you know, putting them to sleep for a minute, trim some nails, get some stuff, get some sticks. Megan, you didn't know they could do that? Yeah, I don't think it's something they offer regularly because I bet it's a pain because, I mean, you gotta, I figure there's probably some risk, you know, whenever you make an animal go unconscious, there's probably some risk involved. But she was a feisty thing. And there was no way anybody was getting close to her if when she was awake. Like, the first time I was trying to take her to the vet, now she had been owned by previous roommates of mine. So when I took ownership of her, because they basically abandoned her, she was kind of borderline feral. She was about a year old. She hadn't been fixed, all of that. So first time I had to load her up and take her somewhere, like, I'm wearing like leather gloves. I've got her trapped in the bathroom. I'm trying to get her into the case, and she is just like, oh my gosh. It was, after about half an hour, one of my new roommates came in. She's like, do you want me to help? Because this is ridiculous. I was like, yes, let's do this. So between the pair of us, we were able to finally stuff her in there. It was just, oh my gosh, it was chaos. So I think, yeah, once you came along, once Affidel and I were together, and then I think you had longer leather gloves, because I just had like little, gardening gloves or something. And I think you had longer leather gloves, and he would just be like, and so she was all teeth and claws for definitely the first, while. And I worked with her, we both worked with her over time to get her like just used to her voice. Like, I started with her because it was just me at first and other roommates, but I was the one who ended up in charge of the cat. And I'm just turning in these quests now, so if you're not certain what I'm doing or where I am, please pop up in the chat and let me know, and I'm happy to explain what's going on here. But yeah, so she, like, her first reaction, if you did anything, like come close to her, just anything, was to attack. It was to grab and claw and bite. Like, everything was, an enemy to her, or a danger to her, actually, is probably more how she saw it. She was, the people who started with her as a kitten hadn't had kittens before, and so they weren't used to how to socialize a kitten. Also, sometimes black kittens can have a little bit of a personality, challenge to begin with, but hers was not assisted by her training. So she came to see humans as, those who would do her harm or are going to scare her, or, things like that. So humans were scary. So anytime a human came near, she was in complete defense mode, which I totally get it. So I tried to approach her from that perspective, thinking, okay, she needs to know that we can exist in the same room, and I am not going to try and invade her space. I'm not going to try and touch her if she doesn't want that. All of those things. So I just got her really used to, like, I would be there and I would just talk to her. Like, she's over there, I'm over here, and I'm just going to talk to her, So I got to the point where she was used to my voice, and it wasn't so scary. So that was good. Oh, good, we can finish these off with her, too. I haven't done the empty keg emergency, so I'll do that real quick. And then, yeah, over time, we tried to work with her in tandem and stuff. And she got to the point where you could see that she liked being around her humans. She definitely didn't want to be touched. Although if she was laying in the sun, sometimes she would let you go over and pet her. Not the belly, of course, absolute trap there. But you could, kind of maybe get a little pet on her. She would also get overstimulated really quickly. Part of that we discovered was because she had a food allergy. So that probably made her just really itchy all the time, like from the inside probably, because she would like lick her fur like manically to try and deal with the discomfort she was expressing. So once that was discovered, that helped her calm down a little bit, getting her fixed early on, or at that point, when she was 1, that helped calm her down a little bit, but she was still pretty but we got her to use her words. So, you'd get close, and if she didn't want you there, she would growl at you. Or like, okay, cool, we can work with this. One of my friends, ironically, would call her Miss Cuddly Muffins. She was not cuddly. She got on my lap one time, and I was like, what do I do? Because I was like, is this a prelude to her attacking me in some fashion? Like, is she sick? Like I was like completely flummoxed as to what to do because she got up on my lap and like sat down, like loafed. It was like it was a little bit of a scary moment because I'm like and anticipating what's her next move because it was so unusual. But I was definitely like, is she ill? Is she dying? What's going on here? I'm not sure what she was up to. But she stayed for a little while. I was like, grab my camera and I took a picture. I'm like, she's on my lap. It was crazy. But yeah, in the later time that we had her till she was about 8 years old, and then we moved out of the country. And moving her to another country was not going to make anybody happy. So we convinced a no-kill shelter to take her, which we're very grateful because I felt bad that, you know, she seemed to not enjoy life so much. So, but I didn't want to like, you know, put her down or something. Like I wanted to give her a chance. And so she lived there for probably 3 or 4 years, and she finally just got adopted in the last year. So, yeah, she's just got no teeth now, so she gums her food. But yeah, she's a crazy one. Anyway, so yes, they used to hotbox her and knock her out. So, so yes, apparently they can do that. All right, so here's the keg thing. And some people are like, what do I do? So you're going to pick up a keg. And now, if you do this in a fellowship, only one of you has to pick up the keg and deliver it. It's really awesome. In fact, Shieldvacht, are you on it?
No. Oh, yeah.
You are. Well, I just picked it up. Were you close enough?
No.
Tell you what, I'm going to do it. Are you? No, they're still blinking. Hey, I'm going to drop it real quick. All right, so Shieldvacht is a kin mate of mine. And we're on auto fellow. So, oh, you're going to do it. No, I want to do it. Drop it. All right, so so you notice how the kegs went away as soon as Shieldvacht picked one up. So now I picked it up. So Shieldvacht's keg should be not glowing anymore because they were close in proximity to me. So now I just have to keep an eye out for the watchers. So there's one down below, and sometimes people try to go that way. And there is theoretically a way to jump down, skirt the tables, and make your way to the keg because you're trying to get to that keg right there. But this guy is the easiest one to avoid. So he's just gone. So we're going to jump over the tables. Now, Shieldvacht could actually stay here, and then I drop it off. And now she's got credit for it, too. And you notice another person just jumping down there. Because I did that the other day. I was running around with some alt characters that I have and trying to do all these quests for all of my characters. And so I had 3 of them following me. So, oh, hey, we've got, yes, glad the cat got adopted. Thanks, Safi. Yeah, me too. I'm hoping that she's going to enjoy the last years of her life, like in a really friendly and comforting and comfortable environment for her. You know what I mean? So, but we have 20 Raiders from Purple Elf Productions. Welcome, Raiders. We are here in Lord of the Rings Online. We're at the Yule Festival. So I was just talking about how the other day I have some alt accounts. And so we have like some other hobbits that we then use to play music with, like sometimes on Laurelin or Evernight or Crick Hollow, working on, you know, getting them up to level 15 so they can buy houses, so we can just like have the whole neighborhood and that sort of thing. So anyway, so I had them going through the festival the other day, and I had 3 of them following me, and so we all had the keg quest. And then the leader, the ones that I had at the front of the line, picked up the keg, and they followed her to the table. But of course, because I was like managing the one screen, I just left them standing there. And so they're like running, trying to, you know, go bang their way through this wall while I dropped off the keg. And it was great because then I just turned around, came over here to turn it in, over here to Basil. And because they had been following me here, and let's see, what did they do? They ended up kind of like, I think they were just like here. Well, then I came around the corner, and so they were following me, and so they just came right back down here to Basil with me. It was fantastic. So, and then we were able to turn them all in. So that's a really, it's a cool little time saver. If you are running with other folks in your kinship around Winterhome, you can just like do it all together. So, all right. All right. Oh, and we had to go build a snowman. Let's go do that. So we've only got a couple things left on our list that we're going to try and accomplish today here. We have to build a broken snowman. Oh, and earlier So I was showing you how I could look at that ring and I saw it was gold, and that meant my fellowship person, the person in the fellowship with me, had that quest too. In this case, you can see that it's gray. So Shieldbach does not have Build a Broken Snowman. It's just me. So I needed to collect coal from the oven, which I did while I was up there by the keg. And then now I need to go gather a stick from a nearby bush. So it's letting me know, excuse me, I still need to get that material, and then I can go build the snowman. And then I'm going to build one of his snowmen, and that will complete what I need to do here. Let's do that. Now, I usually run Eastern time zone 11:30 to 1:30, which is fine. However, today I do need to run exactly on time because I want to be part of a kinship thing that's happening on Laurelin. And they're starting at 7:30 UK time, which is 8:30 my time, which is, wait, 1:30, 2:30. I think it's, maybe I have it the wrong time on my calendar.
8:30 is 2 hours from now.
Ooh, maybe I have time. Maybe I'm not too rushed. Let me look at my calendar. Maybe I messed, maybe I put it in the wrong time. I may have put 7:30. No, 8:30. No, wrong one.
It is at 6:30.
Oh, nice. I do have an extra hour. Yay. Let me scoot that out. Okay, cool. I don't have to end right on time. I mean, I could, but. So I usually, no, I usually stream here. Megan, the question is, do you usually stream to another page? And no, the answer is I usually stream here. I do have my personal Twitch channel, Little Redhead 42, I believe it is. And, but I'm almost always here. Like, I'm always here. I keep meaning to stream on my channel more often, but I mean, this is, yeah. Because I have this scheduled every week. So I'm here every Tuesday, and I really enjoy the festivals. Like, the festivals are my jam. So I like sharing that with other people. And so I just do this every Tuesday, and then in between, I'm like, maybe I'll get around to it. And then I don't. So, oh, but when the rock was around, that big giant rock that showed up just outside of Brie, I really wanted to do a little quick stream to show people where that was, but the week was too busy. I wasn't able to get over there. But okay, so I built a snowman. I built a little broken snowman. So now I tell Virgil, hey, I built one of your snowmen. Okay, fun thing in the snowfield is every single one of these snowmen that you can build, there's one snow pile that if you built that particular kind on that specific snow pile, it'll make a giant version of it instead of like the regular one that you see. One of the piles is down here for, it might be the scarf wearing snowman. It's probably in the wiki to tell you which one's which, but I think it's just so cute that you can end up with like some giant snowman by mistake. I did it one time and I was standing next to it with an elf, and like my elf went to here and the snowman went to here. So, I mean, they're tall. They're super huge. You can't necessarily tell as much with a hobbit because, I mean, they're already kind of big for a hobbit, and so then just look extra big for a hobbit. Same for a dwarf. Oh, I didn't open my silver hobbit present today. So you'll notice the hobbit gifts have kind of like a special, you know, this red with all the snowflakes and the, you know, extra decoration and stuff. Because right now you have a chance of getting a Yule present, not just like a regular hobbit present. So let's see what we get. Oh, we got a regular present. Holly Hornblower. The other day I got a present from Holly Hornblower, and it was a rally horn. So I thought that was kind of funny. I got a horn from Hornblower. But anyway, so I got +5 hope. I mean, that's useful. +5 hope is nice. And a +50 virtue experience. Oh man, I'm still level 65. So I'm on Treebeard, which is a legendary server. And what that means is the way that Lotro runs the legendary servers is it's a slow progression server. So when the server first opened, like a year and a half ago, we only had access to Eriador. So let me pull up the map. So we only had access to, that's not Eriador. Let's show the map of Eriador. There we go. Okay, so we had access to all of this area, right? So we had like Erin Lewin, we had the Shire, we have Breeland, the Lone Lands, over into the Trollshaws and Rivendell, up into the Misty Mountains. We saw Gloin. We have like the North Downs with Fornost. We did get up into Angmar. We've got Carn-Dûm up there, and really creepy, kind of crazy red sky with lightning kind of place. You've also got Forhel, which is the snowy, people of the north area. You've got Avendim with Numenos. So we have all these areas. Plus, we have new ones too now. The Yondershire, Cardalon, Swanfleet. There's something else in the Trollshaws. Oh, the Angle of Mythythiel. So all of those areas were open to us, when we first started. And then after 6 months of the server being open, then we got access to the Moria expansion. So then we delved into Moria. So it follows the same trajectory, the same path as the Fellowship did in the Fellowship of the Rings. So, we went into Moria, and then, actually, let me zoom out. There we go. And we also were able to come out a little bit into Lothlorien. And then from there, we were given access to Southern Mirkwood. We saw Dol Guldur. And then, so that's Southern Mirkwood. Let me zoom back out again. And then we started going down to, where was I? Just a minute ago, I just not done the Enedwaith. So we had Enedwaith and Eregion. So those are both areas that we've gotten recently. And then we just had, Mirkwood was the next one we got after Moria. So we all went tromping off into Mirkwood. And then now they've just opened up Rise of Isengard. And so now we have access to Dunland. And it came as a surprise because one, they didn't announce it. So that was unusual because normally they give some, foreknowledge of that, like, hey, it's coming. So that one was like, boop, surprise, here in Dunland. So our level cap went up from 65 to 75. And the other thing is we'd kind of all gotten into this, like, I guess, false sense of security because when the server opened, it said that we would get the next expansion every 5 to 6 months. Well, the first time they bumped us up, it was 6 months. The next time they bumped us up, it was about 6 months. So we kept, like, everybody was like, well, it's going to be 6 months. And this was more like 5 months. And we were like, what? So it's just like, it's taken me a little bit of time to internalize that, yes, our level cap has gone up. It's not January yet. It's still December. We did this thing. This happened. So I'm level 65, but I've got my little extra bar down there so I can get more experience. The reason why I'm keeping an eye on that is because in the trait trees, so not the trait tree itself, but down into the third tab, which is the virtue traits, their cap is half of your level rounded down. So currently my level is 65, so it's 32 and a half. So they round that down to 32. So all my virtues, I've actually capped them out because we do a lot of deeds. Like we're deed completionists. So a lot of the deeds, like especially like the advanced level deeds and stuff, come with virtue experience. So we just like, boom, we maxed out all of the virtues, like not just the 5 that I'm using, like all, whatever, how many of these are, 28 or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 21. Yeah, I've maxed out all 21 of them. So I'm really keen to get to level 66 because then they'll all go up to 33 and I'll have space to start, like, when I get virtue experience, at least it'll not just dissipate into thin air like a snowflake after it hits the ground on a warm surface. Okay, so yeah, so that's kind of where I was like, oh yeah, I'm still 65. I got to get to 66. Well, I don't have to, but I want to. And it's so funny because throughout various points where we had level caps, I'm like, I really want to get to the next thing because, like, the travel skill to get us into Mirkwood was at like 68, I think. So I was like, let me get to 68 real fast. That way I can get that travel skill while we're still in Mirkwood. You know, it's more useful to have it when you're still there. You know what I mean? So B4 says, I still have to figure out if I'm going to use my Stone of the Tortoise when I get to 70 to keep everything with 5 levels. That's a good question. Yeah, we should check with the rest of our kinfolk and see what they want to do. We usually get together with some kinfolks on Saturday mornings. Well, Saturday morning for them, Saturday afternoon for us. And we follow like the questing, we follow the epic line, but then we also do like all the side stuff nearby. So we're like, you know, going into all the, it's like when you get to kind of a spot and they're like, you know, here's what we need to do because the fellowship was just here and there's some stuff we need to tidy up or whatever. And then there's somebody over here who's like, oh, and hey, while you're out there, can you go check on the wolves? And this other person's like, hey, while you're out there, can you go get some firewood? And, you know, so you have all these different, you know, characters, NPCs around the area that are asking for your assistance in one way or another. So the last 2 moves, we went from 50 to 60 into Moria. We kind of took our time getting to 60, and then we kind of, you know, then we ended up at 60 though pretty fast. And then moving from 60 to 65 with Mirkwood was no big deal. It was just 5 levels. So even if you got to max, the stuff you're interacting with is still within that 60 to 65 range or 55 to 65 range. So you weren't that far ahead of it, right? Yeah, the question is how far ahead of the landscape enemies that we're interacting with, how far ahead of them are we wanting to get? Because part of one of the fun things about, you know, being on a progression server also is that you've got lots of time to really dig in and explore all the corners and, you know, all of that stuff. Yeah, so B4 points out that the next 2 legendary item reforge bands, so we have our legendary items, you know, these little darlings here. So, bam, see, there's my sword. And it's, well, it's currently set to, I guess, I don't know, probably 65 or so. The way they do with the legendary items is you can reforge it every 5 levels. So once you hit 61 as a character, you can reforge your legendary item. Once you hit 65 or 66, you can reforge. So it's on the 1s and the 6s. So yeah, the reforge band. So the next reforge band would be 66. Oh, look at you. You are level 66. Rock on.
I'm not sure how it happened.
He's like, I'm not sure how that happened.
I mean, I've been doing the same festival stuff that you've been doing.
I haven't been doing festival though with this character. I've been doing festival with my Crick Hollow character because it's so new to her. 'Cause she's new to Crick Hollow. I started characters on Crick Hollow. So yeah. And I wanted to catch them up with the mounts and all of the pets and everything, you know, of course. Can you do me a favor? Could you get me some more hot water in my tea, pretty please? Thank you so much. I don't know why, but this is like all of a sudden really annoying, and hot water would be nice. So anyway, so yes, as B4 points out, you know, maybe 71 would be a nice place to stop because then we get the reforge. Egg Arthur makes a really good point. At 71, you get another word of mastery slot. Yeah. We got a ooh from the other room. So, all right. So Egg Arthur is making a good point there. So 71, though, doesn't seem like a bad way to go because then we're not too far ahead. We've got some room. And then we can, once we get further into Dunlin, we can then take our tortoise drones off. What we're talking about is, if you're not familiar with this, is you can have, let's see, do I have mine? Where is mine? I do not. I have a pocket item. As your pocket item, okay, we're just going to start with that. There is an item you can get called the Stone of the Tortoise. It's also called a Experience Disabler in the Lotro store. So if you're looking for it, it might be called that. And it's this thing, the Stone of the Tortoise. And you notice it's kind of got like this blue, you know, background, this kind of blue fuzzy stuff going on. What it does as you'll see right there, it says experience from monster kills is disabled and XP from quest completions is disabled. So when you have that on in your pocket, as you know, slotted as your pocket item, thank you so much, then you don't get any experience. Like your blue bar doesn't move, your experience bar doesn't move, nothing moves except you still do get experience in your legendary item XP reward track. Thank goodness. So that still moves forward. I'm pretty sure. Because there's cool stuff in there and wouldn't want to miss out necessarily. But everything else is like paused. And it's not like it's stacked up for you and you get it later. Like it's just paused, completely paused. Now the reason why I hesitated at first when I was explaining that is because there's a new item that just came out with the Cardalon and Swanfleet before the Shadow expansion that just came out. And there's a I don't have it on this character because I don't have it on this server. I have it over on Crick Hollow. But basically it's a Stone of the Tortoise, basically, but it has stats on it. So let me pull that back up again, actually. So you'll notice that my Stone of the Tortoise, let me tooltip that off, bring that here to the middle. So you'll notice it just says experience is disabled, quest completions is disabled. Like you get no experience, right? But did you have yours with you? I don't see it. Oh, Twitch. Twitch chat. There we are. Thank you. So yes, the flowing silver stone of the tortoise. So you'll notice that my pocket item has physical mitigation, agility, might, fate, critical rating. So it has stats on it. It has stuff that helps me out as, you know, as my character. The flowing silver stone of the tortoise has both. It both stops your experience, it's an experience disabler, but it also has stats, so you don't lose out on, you know, having something in your pocket item that also helps you as a character, which is nice because, I mean, every one of these you know, slots, you want to have stuff that's going to help you out. So having something be basically empty is kind of a little frustrating, so I'm really glad they came out with that. I think it's maybe a test. I'm hoping that they'll do more of those. Okay, so back to the festival. So talk to Mara Sandy Downs in the spirit of Yule. So we are going to go and talk to her, and then let me pull these up too. So where we are is we've just completed 10 things today. We, you know, did 3 of them the other day, and we've gone at least 7 more today. Ah, look, somebody's got a little salamander. How cute. All right, so we're going to turn that in. And she says, good job. And here is 5 Yule Festival tokens and also some legendary item experience. So that's what I was talking about with this reward track. Let me pop this up and I'll move this down so you can see when I turn this in, that little purple bar there is going to go up just a little bit. Boop. Actually, it was a significant amount. That was a good amount. Yay. So that just moves me that much further on that stuff. Okay. Now, I did 4 days worth of this thing, or 5. She said you've celebrated for 5 whole days. I think it's 4. I think they've changed it to 4, but haven't updated the text. Anyway, so she's going to give me some more legendary item experience, some Figments of Splendor, a scrap from an Essence Reclamation Scroll, a universal optional crafting ingredient. That is a crit item. So if you're making, you know, if you're crafting something, you can use one of those and it is 100% that it will crit, that you'll get the critical version of it. So that's nice. And then 1,000 virtue experience that I will just watch fly into the ether. So sad. Okay, so now I have complete a Festive Flurry Intermediate. So, and then she'll give me that tomorrow. All right, so the other thing we could do, so there's a handful of other things. Oh, that person's got that outfit. I do like that scarf. I'm gonna have to get that scarf because that's pretty neat. I mean, maybe I should have gotten that from my character on Laurelin for her, you know, outfit. It's not too late. I'm just like trying to put together like the perfect outfit for her. I picked a color. It's kind of like this orangey color, but it only looks really good in the light. When it's kind of dark, it doesn't look as good. So now I'm rethinking her outfit completely. Anyway, what was I going to do? Oh, so yes, so we talked to the vendors over here, and they're the ones who take these festival tokens that we've been collecting. But we're going to pop over here, and so Verbena Greenhand, who's been standing here this whole time, it says she's a Yule festivity token vendor. So one of the things they did at some point is Lotro has, there's instances that you can do. They're only available during the festival, and they're like festival oriented. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So for this festival, we'll go to the instance finder. I'm going to collapse all of this and go to seasonal. And now there's 4 categories. There used to just be 2. There was Yule and spring. Was it spring? No, it was Farmer's Fair. It was summer. It was fall. It was winter and summer, basically. But now that the summer festival has been wrapped into the Farmer's Fair, it's under Farmer's Fair. So just, anyway, that was a whole side tangent. Actually, notice how the ones from the Farmer's Fair, aka summer, are gray. It's because we're not in the middle of the Farmer's Fair. So those instances are not available. So that's why, like, you'll notice the Yule Festival ones, they're gold. So what they did, I'll go ahead and open up all these, is you'll notice that there is a pair in everywhere except the anniversary. And the anniversary one is actually new this year, so it would not surprise me if they don't pair that up at some point anyway. But hey, Kato. Just chilling out back there. Oh, speaking of cats, we do have 2 cats now. They are much more friendly than our old cat was. They do not have to be hotboxed at any point when they go to the vet, which is great. They're not happy about it necessarily, because they don't like being, picked up and shoved in a box necessarily, but they don't find the experience quite as traumatic as maybe some cats did. So they've got extra fur right now because it got a bit cold. Anyway, okay, so these instances, they're generally in pairs. So you've got one that's like the festival time of year that you're in. So Yule, spring, summer. And that one is available, hey baby, to pretty much anybody as from level 10 onward. So if you're a very low level character, you can absolutely still partake in, the festival instances. So this one is the battle at Frostbluff. Basically, the kids of the area have created some snow forts, but the cold weather Grims have moved in and taken over. Excuse me. So you have to like shoo them away, and then the kids can have their spaces back. Hi. I've been talking about you. Well, just a little bit though. This is Kato. Talk about your predecessor really more than you. Kato. Yeah, so they're Dutch. So, honey, that is not going to be a lap that you want to sit on. You can try. Yesterday, poor thing, she thought she was on my lap, and she does this cute thing where she crawls over here, and then she kind of goes, floop, and she flops herself over, basically. And she did, but my lap wasn't, like, whole, and so the blanket went across like basically nothing, and she landed on there and she sank and fell very quickly, and so she was like, whoa, she was trying to scramble back up, and I was like, no, and I was trying to catch her. It didn't work out well. She ended up on the floor and was just like, well, that wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what you wanted at all, was it? No, it wasn't. Poor thing. All right, well, she's curled up on my lap for the moment, so unfortunately you cannot see her very well there. But maybe one of these days I'll work on angling my camera like more from above down or something. Or get a second camera. I know, we keep talking about that. Do a cat cam. We do need, right? We need to show off the kitties on stream. These are very important things. Well, I'll have you all know that she has closed her eyes already and she's purring, and she's kind of like in half lying, half loafing form. So much happier cat than, yeah, yes you are. I still, every so often, I'm like, if she's lying here and she's got her eyes like wide open and looking at me, and I'm like, are you going to attack me? We're okay, right? We're good? We're good. We're good. Good? We're good. We're good. I'm still a little leery of that, I guess, because of our previous cat. But these two are great. We got them from the shelter. She here, Kato, was 8 years old on paper when we got her. So we don't know their birth dates, but we just figure, well, we'll just use their gotcha dates as their next increment. So we call her 8 years old for now. And then Casper is around, and he is 6 years old. So we don't think that they're siblings or in any other way related, but they are similar in their look. They're both that kind of European tabby. She's got more stripes, and he's got more like big swirls of the patches of their fur. And there's a lot of like brown undertone instead of gray undertone. I'm used to gray and dark, like black striped cats. So these two are more of kind of a black and brown stripe, which is kind of fun.
I'm at the first table, but I'm able to drink a drink from the fourth table.
Huh.
Sorry.
Weird. Sorry. Before is doing the drinks or the food challenge. And sometimes one of the things you do is you eat at the first table, but then you don't turn it in, and you go and do other things, and you wait for the effects to wear off. And then once they've worn off, you can you just go and continue on, and it makes it go a little easier. And they just found a drink. He just found a drink at another table further on, and was able to partake of that. That's so weird. So anyway, we were talking about instances. Okay, Battle of Frostbluff, kids, snow forts, very cute. Yeah, and you can do that anywhere from level 10 up through the level cap of the server, which is now 75, as we discussed previously. The other one you'll have is a boss fight. And it's a boss from the vaults in the sense that they take like a previous boss that you've probably encountered by now, and just give you just that fight, just, taking on that guy. And that's pretty much it. Like, there might be a few slight changes to the way it's set up versus the way you encounter them on landscape. For example, in the spring, we've got Naruhel, the Red Maid. And so when you're doing that one in Agamar, on landscape, there's a part where you get to it, and after you like defeat her minions outside of her space, you go and you open this chest, and it like shoots you up into the air, and then you come down and you're like holding this bowl, and you've got to run it in, and then you drop it like on the altar or something, and then she shows up. They just kind of skipped that. So you go to the area where that would be, and you don't have to do that. You all just line up and get ready, and there's the set of doors going into her space, and as soon as you start passing that threshold, it starts the encounter, and she comes walking forward. So you want to make sure, like, as soon as somebody crosses that threshold, the rest of you get in there, because those doors will close behind you. And then from there, it is very similar to the fight, although once it starts, when she's done monologuing, she will pick one of you, I think the one with the most aggro on her at the moment, and kick you up into the air. So you still get that funny little effect, but just in that one character, and then they come back down. And then the rest of it is a pretty straightforward fight. Like, you've got you've got her, and then every so often when her health is getting lower, she'll be like, minions, come save me, or whatever. And a couple of the people who are standing on the side will start walking forward to the altar to try and sacrifice themselves in order to give her more health. So you want to stop them. And then some water grims will come in, and they can be pretty vicious. So you'll want to, you have to take them out, and then you focus on her again. And so you just kind of go through that. And so the differences between these two types of festival instances is the boss from the vaults one, it's always going to be like a large fellowship. It's always set to 6. You see that up at the top there. Every one of these that I just hit Boss from the Vaults is a 6. And you have the choice of the tier. So Storvâgûn, you could do tier 1 or tier 2. Naruhel, you've got tier 1, 2, or 3. Tier 3 is pretty tough. And Boss from the Vaults, Thrang, you have tier 1 or tier 2. So that's how you increment how hard it is. Hey, Dame Hypatia, good to see you. Good evening to you as well. We're talking about the instances that you can find during the festivals. During some of the festivals. So yeah, for example, right now somebody is doing Storvâgûn tier 2. They needed a DPS. They had 5 out of the 6 people that they needed. So that's the sort of thing you'll see regularly during festivals, is people trying to gather a group, because it's much easier to get 6 in a group. It's much easier to then succeed than if you just do like 1 or 2 of you, especially if you're doing the higher tiers. Dime Hypatia says, I fell from that cliff already. So yeah, so when you do Storvâgûn, it's that same sequence of like Dragon Wing and Giant Wing and that sort of thing. So I think Storvâgûn's the Giant Wing boss, right? Yeah. So you've made your way, you know, through these snowy mountains all the way up to this top area, and then you meet this giant, this giant Storvâgûn, and you know, and he has this little. So it's been so long since I've done the landscape version, I can't remember exactly what's different, but because the festival one I've run way more often, although not this year yet. So you get into the area where he is, and again, it's kind of the same sort of thing. Like there's kind of a threshold, and once you pass that threshold, the conversation begins. But there's no door, so if you get defeated, you just can respawn and just come right and just run right back in. Before says that's one way to avoid the avalanche. So what he's talking about is there's this kind of, when you get out there, it's kind of a plateau that they're standing on, and around one side of it is like a mountain, but it's kind of like encroaching over you. So you might have, so you could have stuff falling down. That's where you get avalanche. Like every so often there's avalanche that comes down. So if you're standing in the area right by the wall there, you could get hit by the avalanche stuff, which does damage to you. And it's also, there's I think a deed or a challenge to not get hit by the avalanche, not have any of your crew get hit by the avalanche. So you can't be too close to the edge there. Well, the funny thing is that, so you've got the safety zone right here by the wall, but then you come out here and then there's this big drop off. So you really have to manage, like, and of course they're giants, so they can hit you and knock you out, right? Or knock you around. So you have to manage, like, where are you in relation to where is Storvâgûn or the other giants? Because at various points you'll call in minions, and so you'll have other giants that come in. You'll have like these giant snow sabers, all sorts of different, a handful of different things that come in. So you have to kind of manage those ads and not letting them, or Storvâgûn, throw you off the edge. and not get too close to where the avalanche is. So you kind of have like this narrow area that you're trying to manage. It's not that narrow, but it is a little bit. You got to be careful, or you end up falling off the edge. So the boss from the vaults, you've got a large fellowship, and you can increase the difficulty by the different tiers. And there, I believe, are deeds for completing the different tiers. Some of the drops that you get are better at the higher tiers, so it's worth looking into. So the other one is a little bit more social, a little bit more fun. So Battle at Frostbluff, like we talked about, that's the one where it's like little snow forts for the kids. Bees big business. The bees are pollinating for the Bjornings, and you've got to follow them around and protect them from the goats that are trying to attack the bees and eat the flowers. Right, eating flowers. You got to stop them from eating the flowers. The summer one, the perfect picnic, you're trying to have a picnic with some hobbits, and it's just really hot, so you have to defeat the heat as you're going around, and you've got a pony that's all laden up with all the stuff, so you have to protect her. But she's got like a gazillion morale points, so you really don't have to protect her so much as just keep the stuff happening around her. And then the flurry of fireworks on the anniversary one. Again, you can do that as early as level 10. It's another social one where you're helping Gandalf get some fireworks stuff set up. So those are different in the sense they don't have different tiers, but you have the different sizes. So notice the tier, you can't change that, but I can change it from, in this case, the Frostbluff, the Battle at Frostbluff. I could do it as a solo, a duo, a small fellowship of 3, or a large fellowship of 6. Bees Big Business, also 1, 2, 3, 6. I think the Perfect Picnic is the only one that goes up to 12. Yeah, you could do like a raid level on that one. And there's different like challenges, different deeds that you can earn for doing certain things in those various instances. So we probably should pop into one of those at one of these points. Oh, B4? You want to do an instance?
Yeah. Let me switch.
Yeah, no worries. Do we want to do it on level, or do we want to just zoom through it?
Oh, on level's fine.
Okay. So that's another option you can have, because, okay, so why would we even care about this stuff? I mean, aside from the part that it's kind of fun. For doing the instances, actually, for doing the social-ish one, you get festivity tokens. You get 5 festivity tokens from that. And those you bring over here to Verbena Greenhand. During this festival, she's standing out here with her cloak and everything. During the anniversary one? No, spring. She's at the Greenland Festival grounds. Where was she for anniversary? I forgot where she ended up. And then for Harvest Fest, or Farmer's Fair, she's at the Party Tree. So you'll always be able to find her near the hub of activity. And she has different things to barter for than the other guys. So this year we have a new thing. It's a Snow Strider's Woven Deer. It's a furniture or mobile or yard item. Oh, we're in. Okay. So Battle of Frostbluff. I'll be right there. So she has a handful of pets, decorations, and cosmetics. We'll come back and I'll show you her cosmetics in a minute. Okay, so Battle of Frostbluff, it drops you out here outside of town. So we're out by kind of where the chickens and stuff are. Let's see, there's the snowball field. There's the chicken space up there. So we're kind of in between all that. We've got these new structures that weren't there before. So the kids are chilling out here. Get it? They're in the snow. And we've got the 3 over here, and they all say the Frostbluff King. So all the kids are, those 3 kids are competing to be the Frostbluff King. Win over here is a noble knight. So we'll start with Win. And current quest, and then we also have a daily. And so we'll pick up both of these. So we have been attacked. The hardship of building our fortresses has been for naught. Today was to be our yearly tradition, the battle at Frostbluff, you see. We have been making our forts the best they could be. Now we have had to cancel our throwing of snow and laughter, for the cold and evil wind has come to Winterhome. It is too cold to play and throw snow. I do hope you'll be able to help us fight off the cold so we can have fun on this great winter's day. Let us reclaim the Tower of Grumpwood. So that's the first one. So I need to talk to Liddy, and I need to talk to the Queen of Cluckland before we can continue. But before I'm going to do that, I'm going to talk to her one more time. This is a daily that you only get to do once per day, but it's how you also get some Yule Festival tokens, the regular tokens. So if you secure all of our fortresses, I'll give you an extra reward. What do you say? So yeah, I will take your extra tokens. Heck yeah. All right, so the Queen of Cluckland is the chicken. She says, bok bok. And then bok bok bok. You know, she's got a little crown. Like she's got it. She's got it going on. Yes, Liddy says, yes, the situation is dire, my queen. So she says, I cannot speak on the queen's behalf because I am merely a squire. But I have heard rumors that a bold hunter, that's me, was to assist the realm of Cluckland. If you succeed, we shall sing songs of the day. Very cute. All right, and then these 3 pop up, and you pick one, and they're going to be the Frostbluff King. So let's pick Core. All right, Frost Lake Fortress is my home, so there's different fortresses. It is now empty and cold. When the moment is right, we must reclaim my keep. I am the king of Frostbluff, and no one tells me what to do. Okay. I am the Frostbluff king. No, I am the Frostbluff king. No, I am the Frostbluff king. I am Spartacus. Okay, so we're doing this on level, which would make a difference if we hadn't already done what we probably have already done, which is there will be, oh, what's it going to be? Well, they're encounters, and trying to find the name of it. Oh, Frostbluff? Let's see.
Frostbluffs and frosty beasts. Under skirmish.
Oh, under skirmish. I'm in the wrong place. All right, let's try here. Frostbluff's Frosty Beasts. There it is. So you'll have 2 encounters throughout this, and so you have to run this multiple times in order to finish this, because you're only going to get 2 of these. There's the Frosty Mountain Bull, Frosty Mountain Bear, Frosty Sabretooth, Frosty Snow Beast, Frosty Winter Warg, and Frosty Frostworm. When you have completed all, managed to take out each one of those at least once, you'll get 6 tokens and you get a title, The Frosted. Now, you can only get credit for taking those out if you do it within 7 levels of you, if the instance is running within 7 levels of you. Which is why I was wondering if we were doing this, you know, at our level or not. Now, it doesn't matter because we've already got that deed, but it's fine. Doing it on level is a little bit more of a challenge and so fun. These snow people seem suspicious. I agree. So what's going to happen is, oh no, they're not just snowmen. It's a cold Grim. So we have been spotted. So the Grims have basically taken on the guise of snowmen in this particular instance. Or snow people. Some of them are snow monstrosities, man. They got like 4, 5, 7 arms. Oh, landscape difficulty applies. Interesting. And this is Grumpwood Tower that we're in. So we do see the red dots on the mini radar. Excuse me. I've mentioned that we live in the Netherlands, but we recently took a trip to the U.S. We hadn't been back in almost 3 years. What with, you know, the pandemic and everything. Oh, well, I just think I'm just going to take that hit. Oh, no. Well, you go back and get that. Okay. With the cold in a retreat, now is your chance to reclaim the fort for the children of Winterhome. So we do the regular thing, like where we click on the banner. It has been secured from the cold. Hey, Kato. I have a little bed for her on my desk, so she's going to curl up over there, I think, for a few minutes. Yes, you are. She probably is going to dip below the level of the screen. There you go. You can see her ears. Yes, we can see your ears because you're awfully cute, aren't you?
We should just raise that bed up.
I like the idea of having a cat cam. I think that's an even better idea. So. Yes, because you're the star, aren't you? Yes, you are. Oh, all right. I'll push it back this way. Let you sleep. She's like, I just want to get some sleep here. I think my lap was too exciting for her. Oh, usually there is a counterattack. It's possible you already took care of that. Awesome. So now you see Win has come over here because this is Win's particular location, because each of the kids has kind of like their own place. So now we're going to go back up the hill a little bit towards where the chickens are. And you'll notice that Win has moved. So now, if you forget to grab the daily, you can grab it from him while he's in there. But all right, so we're going to go into the chicken space. Cluckland Keep. Oh, there we go. We have found some stuff. So yeah, we got back like a week ago. Like, it's not just yesterday. Oh, you know, I should probably be shooting the same things that you're shooting. That might make our lives a little easier. I should shoot with fire. They probably don't like fire. Oops. I'm kind of losing some health here. Hang on a second. So, I'm still, like, not... You're losing a lot of health, honey. Okay. The nice thing is if you do end up getting knocked out, you just start back where the kids are. If you come back in, so it's no big deal. Alright, now we're making progress. Probably helps if we're not hitting like 5 things at a time. Oh, and you can pick up snow and throw snowballs at each other during the instance, which is kind of funny. There we go. Yeah, notice that one had like 2 heads and a bunch of extra arms. Oh, we get cold wisps also. The punishing cold continues to attack the fort. So I have in effect, a gnawing cold on me. It says, seek out the warmth of a campfire to remove the ill effects of the cold. So now I'm standing on the campfire, and it is helping to get those effects off of me. My little stinker. Oh, that's a double box. I'm going to get off of that. We're playing with landscape. The frigid cold shows no signs of faltering. It comes in waves, as you can see. So on Treebeard, we have chosen the landscape difficulty, so we're both playing on Deadly +0 at the moment, I believe. Get the heck out of here. Thank you. So that's what that ball of fire is that comes down on me every so often. I do get warning. Basically, it's like the... good, we've cleared it. We've finally cleared it. Here's Liddy, because Liddy is the Squire of Cluckland Keep. My queen thanks you for saving Cluckland. All right. With the keep of Cluckland secure, the fortress of Frostlake has need of your aid. So let's go find the fortress of Frostbluff. Now, this is where the encounter would be happening about now. And in fact, there it is. I see it up on the radar. So it is a frosty frostworm. So let's take a look at him. Cool. So now there's a bunch of snow people on our way back. That could be Grimm's. Technically, you don't have to take them all out, but once they've spotted you, unless you can avoid them, they will follow you basically for the rest of it. So you might as well deal with them if they've been triggered and they see you, that kind of thing. Yeah, so the fire on the ground thing is, you see there's a red box there. So what happens is, it's like the minions of Sauron have noticed you and are doing what they can to slow you down. So you'll see a small box that's right around where you're standing. It's centered on you. And then there'll be a larger red box around you. And that is the area where that area effect will happen. And you have, I don't know, just a few moments to get out of it. So you'll see that pop up every once in a while. Early on, we were trying to come up with some way to alert each other. Oh, usually that turns into a Grim. Oh, we got a Cold Wisp, though. Yeah, so early on, we were trying to come up with a really short, quick way to get each other's attention on that. Because you don't want to be like, oh, by the way, my dear, you have to be standing in a space where it is going to be laying off soon, and oh dear, it has already gone off. Right? You don't have that much time. So we were like, how do we get each other's attention with a word that seems like unnormal? Because I don't know what we were saying before, like, you know, fire or area effect, or, you know, things that might actually be part of our normal conversation, where you're like, yeah, what's the rest of your sentence? But we started saying box, because it's a box. That's not something we just average, you know, say during our questing. So sometimes you'll hear us say that when we're doing this sort of thing. We'll be like, box, or double boxes. Because sometimes you get that where you've got 2 of them in a row. Because each person in your fellowship who is on Deadly can trigger the effect. So sometimes, yeah, we'll have two of them happening at the same time, which is always exciting. Oh, is it, how do you pronounce that? Og? So we've been taking Dutch, so my first instinct is to, you know, make that G a guttural G, but that's not German. Oh yeah, och, for ochen. Yeah, see, there's a box. Because the eye has seen you. I like that. So it would be och, but you have a harder G. Og. K. Is it more of a k? Og. Og. I can't quite get German right because I've been spending so much time getting Dutch right. You think it's like Auge. There's the hard G. Auge. Okay, so now we have completed, and we can pick up the festival banner here. So we do that. And we got our Yule Festival tokens, but don't leave yet. That frosted chest, did you just do it? Okay. That frosted chest right there, you absolutely want to make sure that one of your people gets it before anybody leaves, because that's where you get your festivity tokens. And if you leave and the instance is over, you will have missed out. So don't do that. You don't want to miss them. All right, so, but we have finished. We've saved the day. What an adventure with our very own hunter. This was the best day ever. Yay. And then we travel now. So yes, Megan asks you, what inspired you to learn Dutch? We moved to the Netherlands about 4.5 years ago. And even though about half that time has been taken up by pandemic and not going outside or talking with much of anybody, aside from each other, when we do go outside, it's really important for us to be able to communicate with other people. And we live not in the Randstad. So the Randstad is where like 50% of the people live in the Netherlands are in this one kind of band, kind of along the coast. So where you have like Amsterdam, and then below that is Rotterdam and The Hague, and then Utrecht. And it kind of creates like this kind of chunky triangle. And that's over, like I said, closer to the coast. Now, the Netherlands isn't that big. Like the Netherlands itself is kind of like a long, stretchy triangle. So like we kind of live middle-ish, and like to get from one side of the country to the other side of the country, it's like 2, maybe 3 hours by train or bus or car. Like it's not long. It's a narrow country. So when I say that they all live like way over there, like it's not that far. But anyway, so there's a lot of people coming and going in that area as well. There's a lot of like international businesses. I mean, you've got The Hague where, you know, people from countries all over are coming and going. So there is a lot of English spoken, because English has kind of become the language, one of the languages that you do business in across the world. So there's a lot of English spoken over there, and we wanted the challenge of having to communicate in the language of the country we were living in, which in this case would be Dutch. So that's really what inspired us to learn Dutch. And we've been making attempts at it, and, you know, coming at it from different ways throughout the time. But we finally did like a year of just intense Dutch lessons, starting like about a year ago and just finished up in November for now. So we know a lot more than we did, but it's still, the pace of the class was pretty fast. And I got to a point where we were taking on more than I was retaining. So unfortunately, I don't remember everything we've learned. So, oh well. Okay, so we're going to try and do Storvâgûn. And let's see. Oh, that popped up, but I don't need that. So you'll notice there's this memories of Storvâgûn sitting here. So because we're not doing the actual guy, theoretically, right? So it says, at the behest of Arafel, brave adventurers once faced Storvâgûn, a giant of the misty mountains who pledged his people to the service of Angmar in exchange for vast riches. He must be defeated once more, and the emblem of loyalty he bears must be taken from him. So we need to collect his tarnished emblem of loyalty. And if we do that, we get festival tokens, not festivity, but festival. And we get some virtue experience, and we get some legendary item experience. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that quest because that gives me some extra bonuses. And that's maybe the only way to get festival tokens. I don't know. All right, so notice we're all kind of chilling here. Well, all being the two of us. But once we kind of go in, see there's this kind of threshold here. That's true. I probably should eat some foods. I don't know how hard this is going to be.
I think we need to get closer to trigger the conversation.
Once we pass this threshold, there's a point as you approach Storvâgûn where he recognizes that you're there. And a conversation will start between him and there's a little human person over there, and a man. And there we go, he's talking. So we were talking about the avalanches and stuff. So this is the avalanche area. So like there's a wall there, and if you look up, it's like this avalanche could fall on you, which is not ideal. But then if you get too close to over there, it's cliffside. So you gotta kind of manage, you know, how close you want to be to all this. Okay, so they're having a chat. And he's like, I promised you stuff. And he's like, you promised me stuff, but this is still happening. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I don't need you. So he's going to knock him off the edge here in a second. Telerian says that Auch is a bit similar to ouch. So Auch, Auch. Maybe? Auch. So yeah, because I've been doing Dutch and not German, although we're only like 30 minutes from the Dutch border, or from the German border here. There's a lot of like that happens in Dutch as opposed to a lot of that happens in German. Yeah, garbed in the riches of Angmar. Well, if that's all they have, like, I guess he's got some gold medallions on there. That ain't bad, right? Oh, I forgot to do my invisibility thing. Oh well, no big. I'm guessing we're doing tier 1.
Yeah.
All right, so notice that he turned green. That's because he is gathering. Usually that means that, yeah, he's gathering some folks to come in and be a pain in the butt. So you kind of got to work on the ads, or else they will kind of pile up on you, and that is less than ideal. Yeah. Because they'll just stand there and pound on you while you're shooting other things. It's so funny doing this as a Hobbit. I'm like, I can't see a thing. I don't know, there's all these people around me and they're really tall. Megan says, Germanic languages are rough for me to learn. Why do you think that is? So English is my first language. Oh, I'm stunned. Not anymore. You're so stunning, Storvâgûn. Let me get away from the... Thanks. I did want to get away from that area, so that kind of worked out. I got a little boost. Oh yes, and Dame Hypatia points out that the boss from the vaults have nice boxes, as in they're going to give us good stuff, assuming we survive, which we probably will. Windmill punch coming. I cannot interrupt. There we go. Okay. Well, Storvâgûn's almost down. So the nice thing is once he's down, like if there's any ads left, they just disappear immediately. So quest ready to advance, the trader's loyalty. So we have emerged victorious from Heligrod and freed the giants of the Misty Mountains from the traitorous Storvâgûn. So we get these goodies. Goodbye, virtue experience.
I actually got to use that virtue experience.
Yes, because you're 66 and I'm not. So sad. But there is the tinier trinket box because we did tier 1. It's like the bigger trinket box or something like that for tier 2. And let's see what we get. Oh, we do get festivity tokens here. I could not remember. What else did we get? You got Figments of Splendor. I got festivity tokens. I got Yule Festival tokens. Okay. Got some marks and medallions from the completing the medallion thing, getting that off of him. And that's it. There's no door, so you just do portrait exit. So you click on your portrait and click leave instance, and it takes you out. So yeah, English is my first language, and I noticed that a lot of words, like there's kind of a triangle of English, German, and Dutch, and you have a word, and if it's in one of them, it's likely that there's going to be a very similar word in one of the other two, or both. So, for instance, milk in English is melk in Dutch. Let's see, the Netherlands in English, or Nederland in Dutch. So you've got definitely some, like, you know, homonyms in a way. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what, I mean, there's just bunches of them. I mean, some of them you just pick up, but then, so sometimes it's really funny because occasionally we go to Germany because it is really close by. It's really funny because at first I was like, yeah, we're going to travel Europe, we're going to do all these things. And then, like, pandemic, and we haven't been able to do so. And yet still, it's like we've gone to Germany twice this year. And I don't really think about it as much. Like, it just kind of happens. No, at least twice, actually, because I went over there one time for grocery shopping, of all things. So at least 3 times we've been to Germany this year. So it's just kind of funny. It's like it becomes a little bit more of your, like, daily existence. It's really funny. So anyway, we were walking around in, I forget what town we were in, but we were in, like, what's the name of it? It's not, we were in the Essen kind of region, or door something. Let me pull up a map. Anyway, so we ended up going into town, and, like, we're walking along and we're seeing the names of, I think we weren't far from Dusseldorf, maybe. And we're walking along and we see, like, the names of, I don't know, a shop or whatever. And it's like, you know, the butcher, the baker. But we're able to read it because it's close enough to what it would be in Dutch, you know. So it was just kind of funny. Like the eyeglasses, I forget what it was, but yeah, we were just like, oh, I bet, do I know what that is? Oh, I bet we know what that is. So it was kind of funny. So yeah, we were still up in kind of the northern part of Germany. Germany is, like, huge. I every so often I'll like make a friend or something, you know, who's in Germany, and I'll be like, oh, you know, maybe we'd visit someday. And it's like, oh, that's like 12 hours away. Like, even though Germany is, like, right there, it's still, like, man, the place is huge. So going to Essen isn't too bad because that's about 2 hours from here. And Essen has a big board game expo every year in the fall in October. We didn't go this year when it was open. It wasn't open, you know, part of the time during pandemic and stuff like that. So I forget which years got skipped. But so the last time we went actually was 2019. But we went like 2018, 2019. Because it's really easy to just, like, right there to get there. So, yeah, Dame Hypatia says they do have a common ancestor, German and Dutch and English. And so if you know which sounds or which letters to change, you can really, yeah, you can get there. Like ochen, and, you know, your thing, ok. It's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know, ok. So anyway, it makes sense in my head. Yes, the Spiel Game Fair is awesome. It's often called Spiel Essen because it takes place in Essen, and Spiel being for playing. So okay, so let's see. So now so you'll notice that I have 20 of these festivity tokens because we get 5 for each of the things, and I had 10 left over from previous stuff. So I wanted to show you all this cute little outfit. The cap and the gloves and the hat. So it's the tunic, the gloves, and the hat you can get from Verbena here, and I just think that's one of the cutest outfits in the game. And I'm like, I've definitely been tempted to make that for myself just because I think it's so cute. Oh, Dame Hypatia saying the knitted tunic is great in white or red. Yeah, it dyes up so well. I've done it in in rose. It's cute in rose. Like I did one where I did it like piecemeal. Let me see what I do. I think I did the chest in purple, and then I did the gloves. Well, maybe it wasn't purple, but it was one of those in the purple family. And then I did the gloves and the hat in rose, and I thought that was really cute. And then did the little backpack. Don't have it on here, but yeah, white. I did an outfit today where I did the shoulders in white, and I thought that turned out really good. So I'll do this one in white so everybody else can see how fun these are. So white, and the gloves down here in white also. Yeah, not every outfit looks good in white, but oh, that does look really cute. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, here, let me move her over just a little bit. There we go. That's so cute. Aww. And that looks nice with the browns. So a lot of times with Lotor outfits, it'll have something like that, where there's some things that retain a certain color, like that color does not change. So in this case, it'd be the brown there, the brown accent there, the brown around her waist, the accents down the front of the chest, the shoulders, the sleeves, and then at the bottom of the tunic, and of course the pants. So that's cute. And let's see, but in red also, it looks very festive. So let's do it in, now, do you do it in red or do you do it in burgundy? Because I like doing some things in burgundy, because it just, I don't know, it's that deeper, richer red, and it matches some of the other red things that come in. But there you are with the, that is so bright. Here, we'll do the whole thing in red though, just for funsies, why not? Although my scarf is still sitting there in white, so we'll just try to leave that in white. And the gloves in red. There you go. The red and the brown actually look good together. So you notice the snowflake stays white on the hat. So when you dye the outfit white, you don't notice the snowflake as much. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind. But, isn't that cute? It dyes just so well. I mean, its basic blue is really nice too. It's just, yeah, it's a nice one. I like this outfit. It's one of the first ones I try to get when I'm on a new server, is to make sure I've got that one because it's such a good one. And the Yule Gala steed. Yeah, so I enjoy getting the steeds. So this is this year's steed, the Snow Strider steed right here. That's the new one. And it kind of matches those overalls and all of that stuff they got going on. Last year's was the Shire Holly steed, which, do I have a Shire Holly outfit still? Let me see. Oh, that's a fun outfit. That one's fun. I did the carrot nose last year. Oh, I don't have the Shire Holly steed outfit. But I did, because basically that green, that muted green is nice, but there's a different, and the outfit comes in a kind of a brighter green. So I actually dyed my Shire Holly outfit pieces in kind of a more muted green, not quite the same as that, but like, no wait, it's the other way around. It comes like that, and I did mine in a slightly brighter green. That's what it was, because I thought it looked a little bit better. Anyway, but if you're looking for the other steeds that are from previous years, you can find a bunch of them stabled here if you want to see what they look like if you want to walk all the way around them and stuff, but they're not all here. One of the ones that's my favorite is the Ice Flower steed. And let me go ahead and pull that up. It jingles. So this one, and I wish you could zoom in better, but it's got like a white mane and almost silvery, and the like the saddle and all the bits and things are in like silver, and then like a dark metallic gray almost, and then the horse itself is like a dark chocolatey brown, and it jingles when you ride. So I got that. Who did I get that for? I must have gotten that on Crick Hollow, of all places. How funny. So that one, I really like that one. I'm surprised I didn't get it on this server yet. I think I keep waiting for like a mithril coin sale because I don't have enough to buy it right now. But I might just like bite the bullet and buy some mithril coins or something. So that's the thing, is if you want to buy into the steeds from previous years, they are available, but it'll cost you mithril coins. It's like, what was that, 70? Yeah, 70. So it'll cost you 70 mithril coins per steed. So they're not cheap. But I mean, I guess it could be worth. It could be like 100 or 150 or something, which would be annoying. Anyway, these darlings are very cute. There's some great options here. Okay, so let's see. And then we have, this one's really neat too. I love the big, like the big chunky furry feet there. That one's fun. That one is the Steed of Winter's Light. So it's cool because they often, you know, will do the steed to kind of match the outfit of the year. So if you are big on like the Winter's Light outfit, getting the Steed of Winter's Light to match is kind of fun. The only thing I don't like is that you can't dye any of the outfit pieces of the mounts, and I really wish you could, because I really enjoy playing with the dyes on my outfit, and it'd be neat if I could then get something complementary still, you know, with the steed. So yes, so Dame Hypatia mentions that it's best to buy all the mounts with tokens, even if you don't like the mount right now. That is something I always make sure to do, and I didn't even think about to mention that, but yes. So each year we've got, so I'm going to barter for these horses. So we've got, you'll notice we have, we'll just leave it like this. So this year, the Snow Strider steed is the new one, and you can get it for 80 festival tokens. And you just saw how it wasn't too hard to get festival tokens, right? Like we probably accumulated at least 50 today, I would think. Then the Shire Holly steed was last year's, and it is still also available for festival tokens. Now they've been kind of a little slidey on whether the one from the year before that rolls over to mithril only, or can you still get it for festival tokens? So what I would suggest is, if you can get them for festival tokens, get the oldest one first. If you're gonna be short on tokens, get the oldest one first. So in this case, that would be the Yule steed, and then get the Shire Holly, and then get the Snow Striders, if you aren't gonna have enough tokens, because it almost certainly next year, the Yule steed will only be available for mithril coins, and then you'll be sad. So you'll want to go ahead and get that now, if you can, for the festival tokens. Now, you'll notice that they have like the caparison, or I'm never quite sure how to pronounce that. The headpiece, the saddle of various times of these horses, also the Snow Strider and the Shire Holly and so on. Those are for the war steeds. So if you want to dress up your war steed with the same look as one of these, you can buy those pieces ahead of time for us, because we don't have war steeds yet. And it'll just sit like in the background. But you can go ahead and get those, and then I'm not sure, can I get to the war steed panel? There's a war steed panel. I don't think I can get to it yet. Starting inventory. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm trying to remember how you get to it. I know there's a shortcut. I don't remember what it is.
You may not be able to until you can.
And it's possible that I can't look at that panel until I have a war steed. But any of those war steed cosmetics that you get ahead of time, even if you've consumed it from like the anniversary festival, where it might come out of the catching letters thing, if you consume it, it'll still apply to your character's war steed. It's just you won't see it for however many levels it is until you get there. But sometimes it's kind of fun, because there was one that I really liked, and so I went ahead and bought the war steed pieces just so I'd have it once I got there, and that was nice. Wait, that says ice flower. Well, I'm tempted, but am I going to ride the ice? I have to think about that. And it's interesting that the ice flowers war steed cosmetics are still available. That's cool. Anyway, So yes, definitely take Dame Hypatia's advice and get the steeds for festival tokens each festival. Even if you aren't sure if you like it, because if you change your mind like 5 years from now, you'd have to go and buy the steed from Mithril. Whereas if you buy it for yourself ahead of time now, then you've saved yourself that trouble in the future. So I know, make a shopping list. Oh. Egg Arthur mentions that the store preview is how you could use it to look at War Steed cosmetics, but the store preview is broken. Yeah, the store preview has been broken for like, I don't know, a year or something, it feels like. It's been a while. But speaking of the store, they are doing Yule sales right now. So every week through the rest of the year are good deals. So let's see, right now it says store, carry, and share. So select storage is on sale. Looks like I have purchased almost everything. So shared storage would be on sale. Your personal storage, wardrobe storage is probably on sale. I've already maxed out all of those. I catch them when they're on sale. And Cord mentioned something about how basically every week there's going to be like a 30% off, a 50% off, and a 75% off item or something like that. So keep an eye on the 75% off item because that's like going to be super awesome. Let's see, what does it say here? Deep discounts through the store. Yes. Store, carry and share. So 30% off select storage. Yeah, I don't know which one it is. You can just go to lotro.com and it'll have on the front page, it'll have the things that are on sale for that week. The things I want, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want, that's right, is the carry-alls. So I have crafting carry-alls, but what I really want are all the other ones. So like the dye carry-all, I love it. I have that on here, right? Let me see. So I love using the dye carry-all and the musical instrument carry-all, and the housing carry-all is great. I have 2 of those. I have the large housing carry-all and a small housing carry-all on this server. And what I do is, so like, you know how all of your characters, if you've bought like an expansion, and especially like some of the later expansions, they have like a furniture item that's also a teleport, you know, like to get you to Mordor, or, you know, the various places. So, oh, and also like when you complete whatever it is, you get the Radiant Basin, and the Above Weathertop painting, the Mysterious Door that takes you to Mordor, the War of the Three Peaks table takes you to the War of the Three Peaks War Room, the Karis Galebrin wall mural alcove that just came out with the before the shadow. Oh, and the light from Gundabad that takes you somewhere to Gundabad. The blazon of the Great Alliance. I don't remember where that takes you. I think it's somewhere in Mordor also. So each one of my characters gets one of these, and I don't need to have. I think I have 13 characters on this server at this point, so I don't need 13 of these in my house, right? The cool thing is in the housing carry-alls, like items will stack, which is not the way it is for like if it's just sitting in your inventory. They just all, you know, accumulate next to each other. But because they're all the same thing, they can stack in your carry-all, which is fantastic. So you'll notice here, I'll sort by quantity. Every time one of my characters, I get a new character, I have them go get their War of the Three Peaks map off of Wenda, and I throw it in the housing carry-all. And the Mysterious Door, same thing, throw it all in there. So, you know, it's been great because I'm able to like clear up so much space, and the characters aren't walking around carrying these things all the time and taking up their own inventory space. So that's what I use the small carry-all for, because I just know it's those auto-bestowed things goes into the small carry-all. And then I use the large carry-all for almost everything else, but you can see I've got more stuff that doesn't fit, so I need more of those. So I keep watching to see if they're going to come on sale, because that would be really handy for me. I think I have a die carry-all. Yeah, there it is, large die carry-all. So I can just slurp up these dies. So now I just love it because that is 42 out of 50 spaces that I have in here. So that's 42 inventory spots that only take up one inventory spot. And actually, some of these stacks are like 288, 150, 175. Oh wow, what do I have 400 of? Violet dies. I wonder why. Oh, probably because I was trying to level a character and making dies with that. Because I figure dies are worth more than not doing stuff. So it's great because they're all just right there. And so if I want to change an outfit, like if I want to be playing with an outfit, I can just zoom and do that. You have a premium house with lots of wine tables in the garden. Yes, the wine tables from the from Act 5 is kind of fun, from Book 5. Another cool thing that happened, I don't know if this will do it, but if you, okay. So notice this one says, this pack of orange dice says bound to account, but this stack of orange dice does not. So even dies that are bound and unbound, once I gather them in, they just go into the same stack. It's just when they come out that they separate out. Fantastic. I'm just so happy they did that. And I don't mind that, like, because I sometimes will use the universal crafting ingredients to level a character and make, I want to put that back, and make a bunch of dies or something, but then they're bound to my account. So that's one of those where I'm like, okay, I want to make sure I use those before I use the others that anybody could use, that I can just pass off to anybody should they want them. So, yeah. So yes, talking about the task items. Yes, Dame Hypatia points out that task items stack nicely in the carry-all also. But yeah, there is a stacking limit of 5,000. So before it gets to 5,000 broken wooden clubs and is sad. You're an elf. You're sad. All right, well, we've been chatting about festival stuff for almost 2.5 hours, so I think I am going to let you all go. I'm going to pet the cat and, I don't know, eat dinner or something. So next week we'll be doing more festival fun. We'll probably, I don't know what we'll do, because I think we covered a lot of the festival today. We didn't do the horse races, but most people know what the horse races look like. There's some quests you can do in the outer regions, like a Pear and Bree, a Pear and Thorns Gate or Thorns Hall, things of that sort if you're looking for more tokens. I don't tend to do those very often, but we could take a look at those next week if people want to see. We'll probably do do a mission. We'll probably do the instances, because those are always fun. And who doesn't like festivity tokens? So, all right. Well, I think that will call it a day for me. Make sure you stick around, because B4 is up next, and he'll be doing Lotro plugin development here on the stream. And he will talk to you about Lotro plugins and how to make those work, and is happy to answer any questions that you might have about, plugins, or like if you are having trouble with a plugin, ask him. Maybe he can help you out. I know that's happened before. It would not be an unusual thing to happen on his stream. He is well versed in plugins and how they work and how to make them work. So, and then I don't know, which one are you working on today? Which one?
Deed tracker.
Deed tracker. Ooh, yay! I am a fan of the deed tracker. That's this little darling right here. And it looks very much like the deed log, and that is set up intentionally to look like the deed log, and the way it's laid out with the tabs in the same order and everything. The difference is, like, you can search for things. It shows you everything, not including hidden deeds. Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm a big fan of the deed tracker, so he'll be doing some tweaks and updates to that on stream. Okay, awesome. I will be here next Tuesday. Yeah, in fact, the rest of the Tuesdays through the year don't fall on any big holidays as far as I'm aware, so we should be here. So I will see you all a week from today, and enjoy the Yule Festival while you're out there. Have fun with that. And in the meantime, until next time I see you, remember to stay in touch with that Hobbit side of your heart. Take care, everybody. Okay? All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.